What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to show you guys how to get this neutral eye look with a bold lip. First, I'm going to start off by applying my eye primer. This is the Tarte CC Colored Clay Primer. And I'm not really a fan of this one. I'll explain to you guys why later. All I'm doing is just applying it onto my eyelid and then just patting it in with my fingertip. For today's tutorial, we're going to be using the Sephora and Pantone Universe Facets of Marsala palette, which was 2014's color of the year. And we're going to be taking the shade called Macaroon all over the eyelid to set that primer so that we can have a nice and smooth base for the colors to come. Taking a Sigma E40 brush, I'm going to take the color Chutney and use that as my transition color. Now, what a transition color does is it creates more of like a base, like a stepping stone for the other shades. That way it's not just harsh, it has like a transition, you know, it's like an ombre basically. It goes from lighter to darker and so on and so forth. So you're just going to be sweeping that into the crease area of your eye. Well, not really the crease, just right above the crease. And you want to make sure that you focus most of the pigmentation on the outer corner. That way it can add a little more definition and dimension. Also, if you don't have this palette, that's okay. You don't have to use the exact same shades. You can use any shades that are similar in color or any color that you choose to, really. Then with the Morphe M514 brush, we're going to be taking the shade Russet and we're going to be dusting that into the crease. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but last time I told you guys that I don't really have a very deep set eye. So once again, what I'm doing is just taking a darker shade to make the illusion of having a deeper crease area. This brush does tend to shed every once in a while, so if you see a couple white hairs on my eye, don't freak out. It's just from the brush. So like I mentioned before, eyeshadow and the application of eyeshadow is just a bunch of blending and dipping back into the shade and back to your eye. So that's what I'm doing. I just keep going back into that russet shade, or is this, yeah, russet, and just, you know, applying more because as you blend, the color does diffuse more and more. And, you know, it needs a little bit more pigmentation, so that's what you gotta do. By the way, I don't really use like a bunch of different brushes, so if you guys see me repeating brushes in my tutorials, it's because those are the brushes that I gravitate towards the most. They're the most helpful ones in my opinion, the ones that really help me achieve my eyeshadow looks. Then I'm going to be taking the shade Hot Chocolate and applying it to the outer corner of my eyes with the angled eyeshadow brush from Khaled. It's the number 314. Then taking an e.l.f. smudge brush, I'm going to be taking that same macaroon shade and applying it onto the first 2/3 of my eye. So that would be the inner corner and the middle part of the eyelid. At the beginning of the tutorial, I did mention that I wasn't really a fan of the Tarte CC primer, and the reason why is because it was really making the colors come out really patchy and giving me a really hard time when it came to blending them out. You see all those like little folds and lines, that never really happens to me. But I'm just going to be taking a fluffy brush from BH Cosmetics and make sure that I really blend that out so that there aren't any more harsh lines or little tiny folds. Then I'm taking a MAC 217 brush with the shade Hot Chocolate again and adding that to the outer corners and a little bit to the crease as well. Like I mentioned in my last video, I am going to be having a separate video on how I do my wing. So I'm not really going into too much detail, but all I do is I just draw it on first with my liquid eyeliner and then touch it up with the gel liner, and then I just clean up the edges with a little bit of concealer. Now I'm just blending out that concealer that I used to sharpen up my eyeliner with a synthetic brush. With a Morphe M138 pencil brush, I'm going to be taking Russet and Hot Chocolate and applying that to my lower lash line. Then I'm going to be taking my Rimmel London in the nude eyeliner and I'm going to be running that along my waterline. With the Kiko Milano False Lashes Concentrate, I'm going to be coating my lower lashes. And for my top lashes, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Perversion Mascara. I love this mascara. It's really, really good. It's very lengthening and extremely black. Then I'm also going to run that along my lower lashes to accentuate them a little bit more. Then you can take any shimmery shade that you have lying around and with a flat brush, highlight the brow bone and the inner corner. Since I like to be extra as fuck sometimes, I'm going to be taking the Cocoa Lashes in the style Soho and applying those. Just to let you guys know, these are extremely long. I mean, like, touch your eyebrow kind of long. So if you don't like really long lashes, then these are not for you. To outline my lips, I'm going to be using the Bella Pierre Gel Lip Liner in the shade Cinnamon, which I got in last month's Boxy Charm. And I can honestly say that I'm very impressed with this liner. It's not drying at all and the shade is beautiful. Then I'm going to be taking ColourPop Limbo and applying that all over my lips. Alright you guys, so this is the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and tune in until the end to hear a couple inspiring words of wisdom from a special guest. I'll see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye! Just kidding.
You do know they don't want you
to subscribe to my YouTube channel.
I'm keeping it real with you. So what you're going to do is
subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment, like, and share.
Very important. Major key. Cloth talk.